No, I was just gonna say because you mentioned shows. Like, what is a favorite show that you've seen live?
Come on. Live show that I've seen, of course, is the Arctic Monkeys, man. Like,
Right.
come on, when they were
I do
playing
like
their
the
album,
Arctic Monkeys.
He's like, I like
fun.
feeling out of place and awkward.
Well, they're
that
British.
was my place, man. Oh God, that was about 2 years ago when they were on the road. They were playing the AM album, and of course they played a couple of like their favorite worst nightmares album. They played a couple songs from there. God, I love them. You have no idea. Like if I had like a man fetish. Like Alex Turner.
I mean, it sounds like you have a man fetish.
I would be a great husband. I would cook and clean, man. Oh shit, man, that dude would live like a goddamn king if he's not already. Like I'm that man. Woo!
I love it.
Love that band though. It's a great band. My favorite show is definitely the Arctic Monkeys. They just know how to put on a good show. Even though lately here they've been kind of like since Alex Turner's voice has been kind of getting deeper because in the earlier years he definitely had a higher pitch. But I guess that goes with all the smoking and growing old and all that stuff. But
yeah.
I don't know. It's something about a show when they're just not just playing the same damn song off the album. Where they're putting a little extra into it, mixing it up and just getting into it and just watching them play. And that's one of my favorite parts about live shows is watching the musician get into it. Like like when I do my show and podcasting and stuff, I get into it. I enjoy. I express my feelings through everything I can. If it's not through my words, it's through my face, my anger, my hands, whatever. And they do the same on stage, and it's just magnificent. It's a magnificent sight. Like I went to see Bruno Mars with my family, and I'm not a Bruno Mars fan. I was very much so against going to this, but when someone says I have a ticket for you, show up. You're most likely going to show up. And I went to the show, and I was like, my God, this man is everywhere. He's on the piano, he's on the guitar, he's on the drums, he's singing his heart out, and it's just a fantastic, entertaining show. He's just not on there doing a couple dance moves and singing.
He's an accomplished musician, and he definitely sold his fucking soul. Without question.
That I can agree with.
Yeah. I don't know what he knows about who or what they now know about him that they've got the leverage, but yeah.
He will literally do any fucking song now.
Yeah, right.
What? You may sing with the Muppets?
Fuck it. Sure. Yeah.
I'd sing with the Muppets too. That's different.
Got some Coke too while you're at it?
Right, yeah.
No, that's the Weekend.
Right. The Weekend.
Have you ever what is it, the funny in the key of something?
Oh,
has that great
in the key of awesome?
No, is that what it is?
Songs in the key of awesome.
Maybe.
I don't know.
So I'll link to it. There's somebody who does a really, really good parody
Yes.
of a Weekend song, and oh my God, most of the song. I mean, me and my partner we perform "Can't Feel My Face" out live a bunch, and we always just all the choruses are like, "I can't feel my face when I'm with you," and we'll do the sniffing noise over the microphone like we're doing lines of coke. So most of the song for us is just making jokes about him doing blow. Because I mean, clearly that's what that song is about.
Clearly.
Uh-oh. We still here? Uh-oh.
Did we lose him?
We did.
Aw, nits. Yeah, it's definitely the key of awesome.
Yeah, see, it didn't want me talking about them anymore. What the fuck is this doing?
Technical difficulties. Like moonwalk on camping.
Are we back?
Yes,
Yeah.
we're back.
There we go.
Sorry, I'm in a basement, and apparently somebody turned off the auto reconnect on my tablet. So it was trying to use just data,
That
Oh,
is not
I
gonna work
see.
well.
which doesn't work great in my basement.
Yeah, no.
Anyways,
Underground.
but yeah, I was just rambling on about using "I Can't Feel My Face" as a joke to make cocaine references during
Yeah.
our live sets.
And what else are you gonna do, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, Arctic Monkeys, your tippy top show. How about this?
Oh God, yes.
Do you have any moments that are inextricably linked to a song or a type of music or a period in your life that you just can't help but think about when this song comes on, or a song that you can't help think about when you reminisce about something in the past?
Oh yes, there's a particular song that I have now, that I have when I wake up every morning for my alarm. It's called 505 by the Arctic Monkeys, and he's basically at the beginning of the song he says he's going back to 505. It's a 7-hour flight or a 40-minute drive, and in my imagination you're waiting, lying on your side with your hands between your thighs, and like that for me was like. Because I used to travel a lot and I used to go out and do stuff. And so, like, I always thought about, my wife while I'm gone. And when she went to Spain for a semester, I was like, I want to go back. I want to see you there. Back, it wasn't, our area code is obviously not 505, but still that reminiscence of, I don't care how long it is, as long as I'm able to see you, as long as, hang out with you, I'm gonna do it every single time. And as the song continues to go, he starts talking about, how he doesn't care if he gets, stabbed or, he adores her, even when she's being, petty or not very nice to him and things like that. And it's just that song, like every morning I wake up to it, it's just such a great memory of that time of, feeling like, this person is far away from you, that you still have that same love for that person and you'll do whatever it takes to get to him. And then remembering that I still have that feeling.
Well, God bless him for marrying the wrong person, but sticking it out.
Oh,
I mean, just based on that, I mean, like, what, you guys fight that much that you had to write a song about it? Like,
Gotta write a song about it, man.
I was just like thinking with the Warm Fuzzies about, oh my gosh, this is such a great story, and I love that song. 'cause
look,
I, like the Arctic
wouldn't marry
Monkeys,
anybody
too.
that I fight with. It's
They're
just,
so
there's not a
British.
point.
I need someone to fight with. Who else is gonna fight with me on the daily? How are we gonna get sharper, man? Come on.
Dude, that's what the internet is for. It literally exists to go find people to fight with. Just
my
get
God.
on, spend 10
He
minutes on
prepares me
Twitter.
for the internet. My feelings get hurt so easily. I got to make sure I train at home and then go on the internet.
Like, if you want to win arguments, just go and spend a week on Twitter.
Oh God.
Because you'll either discover you can't do this, or
Better
you get
yet,
really good
just go
really
to the internet
fast.
and come back.
Yeah, right.
Like, that's where you want to wood shop. Because nobody cares what you say on there. Just start a new account.
You just end up with like post-traumatic stress disorder from Twitter.
You joke. I know those people are out there, Liz.
Oh God.
God.
Nice.
I hate Twitter, by the way. Just
Yeah,
put it
I'm
aside.
not a fan
I
personally.
hate Twitter.
Yeah. No.
Like, and a lot of my listeners, they'll tag me on stuff, and I'm just like, dude, I don't pay attention. Facebook me. Like, fucking hate Twitter.
I love it for all the reasons people hate it.
Because you like to be petty and you like to find all those
I'm just like,
a-holes
leave
on
me
Twitter.
alone, man. It's like everyone that like argues with me on Facebook, and you might see this, and I hope you guys do it. They send me a private message, I'll tell them, I was like, hey man, I'm not gonna argue with you on a fucking post and go back and forth.
All right,
Just send me a
Jason
message,
Stapleton.
call me. I'd rather someone call me and yell at me than have a fight on Facebook. I get nothing from Facebook. I mainly just start trolling when people are like, "Oh, you're just a status or some shit." I just like heart.
Well,
Love you.
Do you
Smiley
follow
face.
Michael Malice at all?
Oh God.
No, I don't follow. I stopped that. I stopped that.
Michael Malice is the greatest thing in the world to follow because there's not a single human being that trolls harder than Michael Malice. You just,
All trolling all the
I
time.
just hope someone brings it to him because, God, watching those beatdowns is amazing. There's something incredible about watching people get trounced in such a fashion. The only thing I think I like more than that, and this is very petty, is anytime Talib Kweli decides to, like, for whatever reason, rope Eric July into something.
Oh jeez.
Because as much as I have respect for Talib Kweli for what he's done, we see that Mos Def was definitely the better half of that equation.
Amen. Amen. Make sure you take that little snippet right there and just post it. That's all you need. Done. Episode.
Like, my bigger thing is just watching the attitude he gets with other black people that just don't fall in line. He's the worst about, if you want to be a black person, this is how you have to be a black person. And believe me, I got no stake in that game. I'm not a black person. I'm not trying to be a black person. But I imagine that it's probably be shitty to be told by people that should be on your side, and as much as a side can exist, that you just don't make the fucking cut.
Yeah, but how terrible is that to tell somebody else? So that's, just because, we're the same color, that there's this set of rules that we are supposed to be following. And if we don't, then we're considered, we get sent to the tribunal and sent us to, getting kicked out forever. It's just so
I don't
silly.
get it. I want for you guys what I have is to not fucking care about it. That's what I want. I don't want us to segregate off in these little communities. I've got a beautiful little mixed daughter, and she's going to be confused her whole fucking life because people won't give up on this shit. I just want you to not think about it. That's all. Can we work towards that? But they don't want to. That's not what we want.
It would be nice. That's what I say about the Democrats when I talk about the progressives and stuff like that. Progressives going to be socialists. They talk about race and they say, well, race shouldn't matter. Then why in the hell is race such a distinct thing in your party? Why every single policy you want to put out, you want to put some kind of distinction of race, of black, or now transgenderism and all that stuff? Why don't we just talk about the individual? I would say a living person should not be treated this way, period.
That being, we did have a Democrat come and try and pitch us to vote before the election, and I feel really bad. I feel really bad for that kid because
he was a real nice kid. He had no idea what he was talking about.
Dude,
he was a nice kid.
Do you really want white people from the suburbs voting on the school districts that people go to? Do you think they have a fucking clue what goes on there? So get them the fuck out of there. They don't need to make those decisions. Make them yourselves.
People can't do that.
I think that the school systems are stupid anyways, but at least if they're going to exist, I'd rather you make those decisions than those people.
Right, the people who are actually involved in that community versus some outsider. They're just like somebody here try to come on try to run in my district, and they don't even live in the district. They don't even live here.
Do you follow Eric July at all on YouTube?
Oh, absolutely. I watch some of his YouTube videos. I can't. He's like one of those people that I enjoy. He's hardcore. He's entertaining, and his music is freaking backwards. Is awesome. But I don't know. Sometimes his videos get on my nerves a little bit.
He's too much a video game kid for me. I'm not a video game guy, but what I was gonna say is he has a really good take on the, what do you call it? Malcolm X versus Martin Luther King, and the different visions that they had for things. And I tend to be on the Malcolm X side of things from what I've heard of people like him actually say. It's like, it sounds like you definitely had more interest in helping your people in the ways that would actually result in long-term success. Whereas King,
I can agree to that. Actually,
King wanted to play a game, and kiss ass to the people he thought would help push an agenda. And I mean, that's the Democrat way. That's what that is. Kiss ass and play favorites. And I'd really rather not do that. I don't want my kid kissing ass.
I mean, and like I said, my thing is it's like we should be talking about individuals. Like, why do we group ourselves? Why can't we not self-educate ourselves and be that kind of person that takes care of oneself? Like it seems so hard. And when we advocate for, this kind of identity politics, these groups for minorities, and we advocate it and through government, it only will end bad. It will only end bad for those who are not who are not getting the chance. Like for white people, when we talk about schooling and talking about testing and affirmative action, like black people shouldn't have affirmative action. We can compete with white people. We can compete with anybody. And that's what I'm talking about. Like I think I have a huge heart on for when people start saying, well, the government needs to do this for black people. Don't you agree? No,
Yeah.
I can do it myself.
How freaking soul
I can get it
crushing.
done myself.
How soul crushing is it for people to be like, no, you need us to help you out. You can't.
I
compete
can't
with
think
other
of
people.
anything
You're never
more
going to
fucking
figure it out.
demeaning to black people than you need us.
Right.
Without us, you couldn't do this.
Like, oh my
Fuck
freaking
that.
Need a
gosh.
goddamn handout? The fuck? No, yeah, I don't need that. Like, I can do this myself, and that's what I
Well,
do. I make my
you
own
know, I
shit.
don't-
I go out and make my own business.
I don't want to beat a dead horse here, but I mean, there are these institutions that take our kids for 11 or 13 years and basically just set that whole thing up. And as long as those exist, I mean, there's really no other outcome. It certainly hasn't gotten better in the 30 years that I've been alive.
Yeah, no, there is an
Yeah,
argument there.
just to throw it out there.
Yeah, I get you.
Anyways, so where are we at on the questions, Liz?
I think we are up to the big question.
Are we up to the big question?
We're up to the big question.
See, and here's the thing. I know that he's actually listened to the show and he wasn't bullshitting on this because he's actually had responses ready to go.
Oh, nice.
And most people don't have those. They're like caught blindsided because. So, what would be 5 albums you'd recommend people run out and listen to now? They don't have to be your favorites, just things that you think people should hear for various reasons. And why do
Right.
you? And give us a little bit of those reasons.
Okay, I know what. I think I got this. I'm gonna go old school for one. I'm gonna go with the "Define the Great Line" from Underoath for one.
Ooh, nice.
I love that album. It's one of the albums that actually I grew up with. I like, especially because this is an album with writing on the walls and stuff like that. And I absolutely love Underoath. They just I don't know, man. Like they changed my music listening life. Like it's just fucking amazing. So Underoath is definitely
I think
Define
I'm
the
gonna
Great
be
Line.
honest.
It's a 2006 album.
I think they were a gateway for a lot
Yeah.
of young black Christian men. To be
They were
completely
just
honest.
great.
'Cause,
They were just great.
I
And
think
the funny part is I'm not even Christian now, and I fucking still love them.
well, and no, and they definitely had a much wider audience than that. But I do think that like they brought a lot of young black men to the whole hardcore scene because I think it was something that sounded modern that their parents could like
Could
check the box
Put up,
for.
yeah.
I'm surprised that you don't talk about them more, Liz.
Well, I mean, they weren't. Well, by the time I got into that style of music, like I wasn't really listening to Christian music as much, and I'm kind of like backtracking to them now. But they have a real interest in honesty and being genuine that I think sort of drew a lot of people to them, and I think that's why people, they might not even really be into the religious angle that much anymore, but the genuineness still shines through.
One of my favorite jokes is the dude Fat Mike from No Effect saying, I offered the singer for Underoath a line of Coke back in the green room, and he said no. So I'm like, good. At least they're honest. They're real.
Yeah, there you go.
They may be pussies, but they're real. I don't know anything about them as people. I'm sure they're great guys. But for the sake of the joke.
What else? Let's see. I actually like The Cat in the Hat by Bobby Caldwell. Sorry, I don't know. I missed his name up. I recently, maybe about 2 years ago, I started getting into it. I realized, man, this guy's actually really fucking good. He's just not a one-hit wonder.
He's a
And I
white
listened
guy
to the whole
too,
album.
isn't he?
Yeah, he's a white guy.
That part always is the more amazing thing about it. It was like, you would never think that listened to him.
No, you won't. That's the thing. It blows my mind. It's just like, God, he's so good. Like,
Yeah.
man, he just
That was always the grown folks music when I was a kid. That was like,
for sure.
You turn that on and like your aunts and uncles just start like having those conversations, and it's time like for you to leave the party and go to bed. Like that was Bobby Caldwell when I was a kid.
Wait, there was a time when the kids left the party in your
Yeah.
house?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I fell asleep in front of the speakers. My parents were so drunk they didn't even notice I was there. I had a sweet white trash upbringing.
Your family's awesome. Anyways.
My dad was too stoned to know I was there when those nights happened. Anyways.
Yeah, I think a third one I
Okay.
love is In Love and Death by The Used.
Oh, it's,
He's been trying to
love that
get
album.
me into the Used forever.
out of curiosity, what's song on there? So I have a favorite.
Let
That's
it, my it's actually between one of my favorite two, either Cut Up the Angels or All That I've Got. So those are my top two favorite on that album. Even though I Caught Fire's on that album, is it? Yeah, it's on that album. Yeah, it is. I think it is. Let me go check. Yeah, it's on that album. So those three, I Caught Fire was obviously one of their biggest during that time back in 2004. But God, all that I've got and Let It Bleed was just. Cut Up the Angels. Such a good album.
And
now they suck.
And I love like
suck.
the
Did
emo
you watch
thing.
that? Did you watch that latest release of theirs?
Oh geez.
No, what release?
They released
The
something within like the last year, and like Bert is so old and weird.
Oh no, you need to stop. I think after what's the Bird and the Worm? What's the album that's on? I can't remember what
Yeah, the
album
Bird and the
that
Worm
is.
was terrible. Like I think I own all the way through that one. I did like I never bought anything after that. I like the first one.
Watch for the Liar. That's what it was.
Yeah. Lunacy Fringe was always my favorite track off of Love and Death.
Ba-doom, doom, 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 ba-doom, doom. Yeah,
It's got those fun pizzicato string things going on in there, and it's got a great hook. That it's just such an airy melodic hook, which for them was kind of rare. Like most of their sound was just very abrasive and designed to be that way. So when he did, go on.
Sorry, go ahead. One of my favorite songs when we were mentioning one of those melodic kind of songs from them. Those were my love songs I would give to like all the girls at school where I'd tell them like, this is what I think about you.
Just for the record, that's not a great place to start. That's if you want them to call you back, that's the place. That's where you. I'm breathing on the other side of this booth.
I want you to listen to this song. Baby.
Listen to this crazy guy that cuts himself and does drugs.
Don't look at the album cover. You might get a little bit freaked out.
I don't have a skin baby in my house. Baby in my house. Baby in my